This is the fart fan. As you saw in the opening, it's loud, it's weak, and frankly, it's fired. This little motor is the only thing standing between our RV and a moldy bathroom. So today, we're doing an ultimate swap. We're taking this old thing out and putting in a Maxxfan Deluxe. It's got 10 speeds, rain-proof. It's got a remote control to make it feel a little bit more like home rather than reaching up to turn it on. But first, I gotta get the old vent out, and let's hope it doesn't rain. Well, I got a table full of stuff here, don't I? Before we get started up on the roof, I just wanted to go through what all we're going to need here. So here's a few tools and supplies that we need for the job. Of course, I got me an extension cord because depending on if it's hot enough, I may need a heat gun to help kind of soften up that sealer up there holding the old vent down. I got a driver here with my assortment of Robertson bits, and I've got a screwdriver bit in my drill right there because I got to take off the vent cover that's up there, and I know that's a Phillips head. I put that on myself. So we got that, and then once we access all the old sealer, I got a selection of 5-in-1s and putty knives and some screwdrivers and different things I can start scraping all the old sealer off with. And then I've got some denatured alcohol. We'll need that to clean it up and make sure it's all good and clean before we put the new one down. When we do get ready to put the new one down, I've got some butyl tape here. I'll put that around the flange of the new vent fan before I set it down in the hole. And then we've got a bunch of Alpha Seal. Which one is this? Someone asked me about that on the last video. Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I'll put a note on the screen to let you know which one this is. And then the caulking gun to apply it with. And I got a spreader here just to kind of clean the edges up if I was to get the sealer in spots I don't want to. So anyway, that's going to be about I think I already showed you the heat gun. But that should be all the tools I need to get this done. But let's go ahead and unbox this new fan, and we'll see what all we're dealing with there, what all it comes with. So we got the Maxxfan Deluxe here. Says that it's the only RV ventilator that keeps on running when it rains with the industry's exclusive built-in rain shield. The Maxxfan Deluxe also features a powerful, you can get it in a 4 or 10 speed fan motor. This is the 10 speed. It provides over 900 CFM to keep you cool and comfortable. The fan runs with the lid closed to circulate air with the ceiling fan mode. It's got a remote control electric opening, and you can manually open it also. It's got a flush mounted keypad at the ceiling which controls the fan speed, thermostat, and the air intake and or exhaust. Comes with a 2-year limited warranty with lifetime limited warranty on the lid. So this is the 7500K with the smoke lid, 10-speed electric lid opening. Let's see, this guy controls at ceiling, yes. Thermostat, yes. Intake and exhaust, yes. Exhaust only, no. A remote control, yes. So let's get this thing opened up and we'll see what all's in the box. All right, let's see here. It's all just packing material, nothing needed there. There's some hardware and some instructions and the remote control. All right. This is going to look a lot bigger on the top with this lid, I can tell you that, than with the other one, but it's supposed to fit in the same 14 by 14 hole, so let's get it unwrapped here. fan assembly itself. See that? Yep. Got a big 10-bladed fan on it, 10 inches. Just 2 wires right here, so that's good. That should be all we need to make ours work, because it's all we should have in there on the old fart fan. Interesting here. Now, I did read one review online. Somebody was complaining about this, and I did a little research, and they said not to seal it up. But okay, so this is the part. This goes to the inside. I doubt I use this right here. What I plan on doing, we'll see how it works out, is to use my old trim on the ceiling on the inside, because this is going to be much taller and I'll have to cut this to fit. My other one's already cut to fit, if it fits in there around this fan assembly. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But anyway, you put this down on the roof. This gets attached with your screws, and then you put the self-leveling alpha seal, the lap sealant around it, cover all the screws and everything. And then this right here slips down inside it, and you just screw it to the 4 mounting points right there. But it slips down inside, and someone was complaining about the gap right here, and they were saying that they felt they should caulk that, because if they didn't, oh, I see what it is. There's no reason for that. They were worried that it would leak right there, but oh, this is pretty nice. But can you see inside here? There's actually a seal down in there, right there. So whenever you fit this in there, this fan goes down over to the side of it, and it sits down onto the seal and seals it all off. So when you see this little edge right here where it meets up to that, is what they were complaining, that it was going to cause a leak or something, but I don't see how it can. It's got a seal right there, and even if any water got in there, it would have to fill up, and it would come back over this edge before it would come over the inside edge. So they were complaining about that. They were worried about that being a leak hazard, but I don't see it. I don't see how that would be a problem at all. So, and I did do some research on it, and they said not to seal that because it allows it to ventilate, and you could mess up the fan itself if you sealed it up. So we're not going to caulk that. We're going to follow directions and do what they say. So anyway, that's what we've got here. Now we just need to get started and see if we can get the old vent off the roof and access the hole. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the bathroom, and I'm going to pull the trim shield down, and maybe I'll even check with that on the holes, see how it lines up into the old holes and stuff. But I'm going to see if that other trim shield will fit onto this, because let's see, looks like this will go there and this will come up. It goes to the inside of it, so the other one fits like that, then we should be golden. As long as it goes around, let's see, it has to go around, oh, it has to go in here. So this goes down, just around that, and then it goes into a channel also up here. All right, let's go see if we can get that old ceiling trim down and get ready to install this. All right, so I checked the screw size. They're a number 2 Robertson bit, or a square bit. So I've got my drill with some, it's got a Phillips head bit in it right now. I'll exchange that for this one. I'll go ahead and take these screws out of here. Can you see this? Let me see if I can raise you up a little bit to see that better. second here. Here they are. You got your white wire, which will wind up being like the ground, and this one right here, this is your black wire. It's going to be your power. It runs over to the switch, from the switch to the motor. The white runs from here to the motor. So that'll be a simple little removal process when we get ready to do that. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna leave it up anyway for now. We'll take that vent cover off, and then that'll expose the flange with all the screws around it that are holding the vent down on the roof. And then we'll take those screws out, and then we'll persuade this thing here to come out, and then it'll be time to put the new one in. So, all right, well, as you saw, I got the inner trim down from the bathroom, but I was mentioning earlier that I thought I would be able to reuse that. I don't think I'm going to be able to, so I'll have to use this one. It's not much taller than what this one is anyway, but it's more square. This one is more got rounder corners. It will not let's see if I can show you this. With the inside profile of these corners like this, it won't go over the new fan. So I will be required to use the new insert. Anyway, let's see if I can get up on the roof and start getting this old one out. And then to take this lid off, let's see this razor out, pulls that off, and then you go up top and slide that off. All right, so after you get all the inside stuff out like that, you can raise this lid up, and it just kind of fits like that. Hello. Well, we're past the point of no return now. Clean all this butyl off of here. All right, so I got all the butyl up off of that, and I've traced the outline of the flange. It's going to sit nice and flat. I'm going to take a little denatured alcohol, clean this up. They tell you to clean this really good. If it doesn't come up when you're trying to pull it, that it's adhered, and just go right over the top of it. But I'll clean it as well as I can first, and we'll see how it goes. Well, the mounting plate mounts with the 4 clips to the side of the camper. Pro tip for you ramblers, don't skip on the sealant. I'm using butyl tape for the base layer before I install the mounting plate, and a couple of tubes of self-leveling alpha seal for the top. We want this thing to be more waterproof than the day it was when it left the factory. Unfortunately, my camera spaced out on me here and I lost the footage of actually sliding the fan into the mounting bracket. But I think you can get the gist of it from these pictures. This is happening way too often. Anybody want to buy me a new camera out there? Just kidding. Well, the mounting plate mounts with the 4 clips to the side of the camper, and the lower edge of the fan should go to the front. So just install it with the 4 screws into the holes that align with the clips, and you're ready to get off the roof and finish everything else from the inside. All right, I got this thing all connected and caulked on the outside like you saw. All I've got left now, I've got the wires here that need to be run, and I'll stuff those back up in there, and then we got to fit our trim ring right here. So let's hook the power up to it, and we'll check it and make sure everything works right, and then we'll worry about the trim ring. Alright, that's the male. Go over here and we'll put a female. A little longer now. Take stuff back in that hole good. And just a little trick, something I'm gonna do. I put the male end on this side. I'm gonna put a female on this side, so if anybody ever comes in after me and wants to replace the ceiling, they won't get the wires connected backwards. It'll only go one way. Ceiling fan, I should say. Put the female here. Oh, it was loud.
It's loud. It's going crazy out there.
All right, let's hook these up and see how she works. All right, well, she came down. Let's see if I can make her go up. Stuff this out of the way.
Working?
So you working?
Do it after work.
Alright, let's see how the toilet paper test works. Oh yeah, that thing. Watch this. The other fan wouldn't do that. And that's on low. Alright, we'll turn this off. Where's the speed? Huh? Now I'll get the shroud and I'll get that trim to fit. All right, let's see how much I got to cut off of this. There it is. There you go. All right, I need to get my screwdriver, get my screws, get my driver, and my 4 screws here. So it's got 10 speeds. When you get to the top speed, it does a double beat. When you get to the lowest speed, it does a double beat. And you can do it by hand like this, but we also got that remote if it's a good beat. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Wow, that's a lot.
2, 1. And look, watch, it keeps going.
And it's not a manual lift. You have to lift it up. You push the button to lift it up, in and out.
Yeah, you can just hit on off.
Oh, and that raises it. Oh.
Raises and lowers and turns it on and off. It's, the remote will do the same thing. But you can do this and still have, oh, not that.
What's it default to? The first one?
Whatever
The
you leave it
speeds?
on.
Oh, okay. So we'll just leave it on like 5.
Well, you can have it on this and just constantly.
No, because that
Pulling air
takes
out.
the heat and the air and everything. We don't want to do that.
Okay.
But turn the speed up to like
That's 2, 3.
4 or 5. That's plenty fast. So the screen on it that comes with it, is it enough for you to feel comfortable not having to put another one up?
It's just
Like the way
good or
this is-
better than the other one. Watch this. Remember the other day I was trying to do this and I couldn't get it to.
Awesome. And then it pops out to clean it, I see.
Yeah, you just spin those half a turn,
Awesome.
the whole thing comes
Good job,
down.
Ed. Rock on.
And this thing fit really good. I didn't have to trim it.
That's awesome.
So let me go get the remote charged and then we'll figure out what we want to put in.
Great.
So we decided to Velcro this on the wall. And I'm going to sit on the toilet and place it so that if I'm in here and I need an emergency fan, I can go ahead and hit it.
What a goober.
Yeah, you'll be happy whenever
I mean, seriously, who needs a remote?
it makes it more residential. All right, there it is. We put it on Velcro on the wall because this is our pocket door. And I don't want to risk going too far in there. And I'm sure I could go in there. I can feel the other side of it, but that way I don't have to worry about the screws hitting the door. So anyway, there we go. And now we can just go, oh, I'm in the bathroom. I better turn this on. And there it is.
Please do not play pretend what you do when you go in the bathroom on camera.